What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Bluff City. This is episode number 7, and today we're going to be working on this truck stop or travel center that's right across the bridge from downtown. It'll be the last stop or last exit before you get into the main city. And this will definitely be a spotlight episode in which we only focus on these main 3 buildings. So we're not going to make a whole lot of progress just in terms of developing the city. I'm trying to get a good layout for the area, which is going to be a whole lot of parking lots. I'm working on this truck stop right now, or truck wash, which I created specifically for this episode. And this should be on the workshop in a couple of days. I've still got a couple of tweaks that I need to make to it. And I just checked the workshop and there's not any truck wash or anything like that on the workshop. There's a couple of car washes, and just in looking at the workshop I saw that a few props that I could use in this, which I'll probably go back and add later. The other building that I'm going to be working on in this episode is the Keralis kitchen, which I created from, I started using a vanilla asset and I just kind of adapted that. So I'm definitely excited, as I'm sure a lot of people are, that Keralis is back to playing City Skylines after like a year. He was the first YouTube series that I watched online, and I can just remember how excited I was when I first saw one of my buildings being used. I think it was the Home Depot or Target, and this is like the first time that I saw one of my buildings being used online before. And the last building that I'm working on for this episode is a Love's travel center and gas station. Right now you see me using the Cracker Barrel to stand in for the building. I didn't have a working model at the time. I'm also using the Costco gas station by Crazy Glue It or Crazy Glue IT. I don't know how you say it, but it's a really good looking gas station. Then I decided it would be just so much easier to retexture his gas station than to start from scratch on my own. So I will definitely have to get the okay from him before I uploaded it to the workshop. This episode took a really long time to record just because it was so easy for me to get off task with having to create all of the 3 different buildings that I'm using for this episode. In addition to those 3 buildings, I created a sign for each of the buildings, and the sign themselves took a lot longer than I had expected. Sometimes just dealing with the asset editor and different programs, things just kind of take a little longer than you expect. I also stopped working about halfway through the build to work on mulch props, which I retextured a couple of my curb props too. I didn't even use it for this episode. I had no intention of using mulch for this episode, so I don't know why I felt the need to randomly stop and go ahead and create different props for that when it was something so unrelated to this episode. I also stopped to create some cement texture sidewalk props, and I'm kind of dumbfounded to why I hadn't created something like this before, because I use the same texture in at least half of my assets. And you'll see me using those extensively around the parking lot and around Keralis kitchen. I debated if I was going to even upload them to the workshop, just because I think something similar can be created with the procedural objects mod, which I haven't subscribed to or played around with at all. But judging from the videos, it looks like something like this could be created. But for now, I really don't plan on looking into it or subscribing to the mod or creating assets or props for it right now. For the next episode, I don't have any plans set in stone, and so I think I'm going to take a break after this episode just to get caught up on some things, a few assets that I need to go ahead and get wrapped up and uploaded to the workshop, including these sidewalk cement props. And Strict Toaster just hit me up on Twitter asking me what prop I was using in one of the screenshots that I posted on Twitter. And actually, you can see me using them right now in the time lapse around the truck wash and around Keralis kitchen. So a big shout out to Strict Toaster, and I definitely appreciate some of the feedback that he's given me as far as recording and video editing techniques. So those props and the Keralis kitchen should be on the workshop by the time you see this video. The truck wash should be online within the next couple of days, and the Love's Travel Center that may be online sometime next week, maybe even after that. I still got a lot of work that I need to get done on that. Just all depends on how much I can stay focused, but who knows. There's definitely a couple of assets that I started for the series that I want to make some progress on and go ahead and get wrapped up and uploaded to the workshop. There are also a lot of different assets that I want to get started on making, including a Sears, which is a building I've been planning on making since I started making assets for City Skylines, but there's just so many different buildings to make, and obviously I can't make them all. There are actually a lot of new asset creators on the workshop, and there are already just so many great assets and everything, and I can't even imagine how much the workshop is going to grow over the next couple of months or even year. But that's going to wrap things up for me right now. If you have any suggestions or comments about anything in the series or any assets that I'm working on, definitely leave me a comment. If you are enjoying the series and enjoy some of the assets that I create for the game, then go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. It certainly would be appreciated. So for now, enjoy the music and the rest of the time lapse and the cinematics at the end, and I will see all of y'all in the next episode.